Thank you, Ann. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a privilege for us all to be here this afternoon to honor, recognize, thank, and show our appreciation for Dr. John Kerr and his 46 and a half years of service, leadership, hard work, dedication, and so much more to this community and this region and all of us. I have the privilege of being the first one to be able to share a few comments, and it's already been very heartwarming for me to see the outpouring of love and support and appreciation that's already taken place here today. I know many of you have been able to share personally with Dr. Kerr, and you'll look forward to continuing to have that opportunity as we go along this afternoon. So just a few thoughts on Dr. Kerr. I am with the North Mississippi Medical Center system, and had the opportunity to know and work with Dr. Kerr for a little over 24 years now. So he had already been over here for a long time, working so hard and making such a difference before I met him. But I can remember the first day I met him. I walked into the clinic, and it was a very busy day, as it always was in the clinic. A clinic full of patients, and it was my first opportunity to meet Dr. Kerr. Dr. Kerr took me back into his office and sat down, and we shared some time together. And Dr. Kerr told me what I needed to hear on that first day, as he had a way of doing, and it was very clear in the first few minutes that I met Dr. Kerr, the things that were important to him. His faith, his patience, his community, and along with that, a little slice of Kentucky basketball. And you know, as Dr. Kerr has retired, and as we've had a few weeks for so many conversations to take place around Dr. Kerr, and I know as each of you has taken part, I've heard many words describe Dr. Kerr. And as I was preparing for this event, some of those words were going through my head. And just a few of those, which I've heard describe Dr. Kerr over the past few weeks. And so what I did was I took a word and I also looked it up in the dictionary to find out just exactly what Webster had to say about that very word. I heard a word used called icon. Dr. Kerr is an icon in this area. Definition of icon is a person that is revered. I think that's very appropriate. Boy, Dr. Kerr is a legend. When you look up legend, a person who is a central part of history. I think we would agree Dr. Kerr has been a central part of the history of this community and this hospital. A cornerstone. Dr. Kerr is just a cornerstone. Cornerstone means the chief foundation on which something is built. I think all three of those terms are very appropriate when we think about Dr. Kerr, his legacy, the difference he's made in all of our lives. You know, medicine, to which he's devoted himself for all these years, has changed dramatically. Many of you have been a patient of Dr. Kerr's for so many of those years. And when you think about life as a patient, when you think about health care, there's been so many changes, whether it be technology, whether it be the evolution of Medicare, whether it be rules, regulations, the way care is delivered. But when we step back and think about what we desire in our physician, those things have not changed, I think. Care, compassion, accessibility, devotion, availability, selflessness, All those things and more apply to Dr. Kerr. Medicine has changed, but Dr. Kerr has not. And we're all thankful and grateful that we've all benefited from that. Picked up my computer this morning, as I do early most mornings, to read a few online newspapers. And I happen to be a basketball fan myself. And you think, well, here it is, dog days of summer, we're getting ready for football, right? This is a tough time of year for you football fans as we await kickoff. But the first newspaper I read this morning had an article looking forward to basketball season and who was mentioned in basketball season. You're looking at the year ahead with the Kentucky Wildcats. I don't think that was an accident that I read that article this morning. And what that article said was you can't think about college basketball without starting with Kentucky. Well, we can't think about service, faith, commitment to community and fellow man today without thinking about Dr. John Kerr. It's our privilege, Dr. Kerr, to thank you, to celebrate you, to honor you, and to tell you that we love you. And I want to, on behalf of North Mississippi Medical Center, present you with a plaque honoring your service. And I'll read this plaque as I hand it to you. Dr. Kerr, to North Mississippi Medical Center, presented to John Kerr, MD. Wherever the art of medicine is love, there is also a love of humanity. Countless lives have been changed because of your commitment and dedication. Thank you for 47 years of service taking care of our community's health care. Next up on our program is the chair of the board for North Mississippi Medical Center Hamilton, Dr. Sonny Nix, who joined the board in 1993.
Truly an honor to be given the opportunity to make a few comments on behalf of the hospital board regarding the retirement of Dr. Kerr. It's sort of amazing that I listened to David. Now, David and I have not seen each other probably in a year, or quite a while, but certainly not to prepare anything for this talk. And it just seemed like he got my story. That's the icon, compassionate. That must mean there's something to it. It must mean that it's true. You know, I've known Dr. Kerr for about 46 years. I came to Hamilton in 1970, just before Dr. Kerr came here. And he was a 27-year-old physician, and I was a 29-year-old educator. And I thought, you know, he came in from Kentucky. He's a doctor from out of town, you know, big fella. I came in, I'd already had 4 years in Birmingham. I thought we were seasoned veterans. But now, I've got grandchildren who are in their 20s, so I realized you and I were just kids when we came here. Dr. Kerr has always been a very compassionate, confident, matter-of-fact, no-nonsense physician. I guess the best way to say, he didn't try to pander anybody. He was very straightforward with his treatment, diagnosis. And I guess people who didn't know him, and patients who didn't know him very well, might even think there's a little bit of him, because he would just come in, go right to what the problem is, tell you what he thought about it, whatever, whether you liked it or not, this is what we think about it, and this is what we're going to do about it. He's the kind of doctor I like. But some people might say that he didn't care about pandering people that much. But you know, as time has passed on, Dr. Kerr, I guess the best way to say it, is he's mellowed a lot, and he's allowed us to see the real Dr. Kerr. And the real Dr. Kerr is what I've already said, but he is a compassionate physician who deeply cares for his patients and his fellow man. And I think that wraps up about Dr. Kerr. He is very competent, compassionate, and cares about people. As a member of the board, he said, I've been here for about 25 years, and I've had an opportunity to get to know Dr. Kerr in a little different way than we do as he just being our doctor here. I've seen him when things were not going well, how that he would take charge of things. He was a fella that made you proud that Dr. Kerr is here with us. Of course, we've had a lot of, and still have, a lot of competent doctors and staff who are here doing their very best to give our community the best medical care that we can. But Dr. Kerr has always seemed like the kind of person that would step up to the plate. When things got tough, Dr. Kerr was always there and able to give us that little bit of extra, that much needed guidance and encouragement and leadership that we needed when things were not going well. He was always ready to step up, get us refocused, get us back on track. In fact, I remember when Mr. Hammett and me and there were some other administrators was at an Aloha meeting in Orange Beach several years ago. And in fact, I think we had just come back from playing golf, and on our way back, we got a call and said Dr. and Ms. Kerr had been involved in a very serious plane crash. And selfishly, I guess, what went through my mind was, what are we going to do without Dr. Kerr if he don't make it? Well, some of the prognosis, I think I'm correct, where they didn't know where they'd ever walk again. But that icon that David mentioned, that's just like the icon. He's not supposed to walk, but he wasn't long, but he was back in the office, with patients, taking care of business. That's Dr. Kerr for you. Dr. Kerr, this hospital would never be what it is now without you, and I sincerely mean that. And besides being dedicated to his medical practice, Dr. Kerr was dedicated to his church and his community. I've heard testimonies about him giving spiritual comfort to people that were having difficulties and needed that spiritual comfort. He is also, I've heard, in fact, I believe at a meeting we had not long ago, one of the staff talking about when she was going into surgery and was really worried about it, which we all pretty much are when we're going in, but said she found out that Dr. Kerr had a group together and were praying for her. That's the kind of doctor I like. Knows who is really in charge. Dr. Kerr, recognizing your retirement, along with a few of the many contributions you've given to our community, we realize in a way we're going to miss. We're going to miss you a lot. We're going to miss your service, your leadership. That's what we've come to expect over the years. But in another way, this is sort of a pleasant time, too. I thought about that as I was jotting these things down. You know, when you retire, you're going to be able to get up when you want to, go to bed when you want to. You're going to be able to do just what Ms. Kerr tells you to do. You're going to be able to do all of that. Gene Paray is a wise old retiree, made the statement. Said, I enjoy waking up every morning not having to go to work. He said, I like it so well I do that 3 or 4 times a day. So maybe you'll be able to do that. Also said, we need to be aware of the downsides. The downside, Abe Lemon said, the trouble with retirement is that you never get a day off. Another retiree said the downside of retirement is having to drink coffee on your own time. So you've got some downsides here. You spent your life helping others. The time's come for you to pursue a quieter career. Travel, spend time with your family. But your work as a doctor has made this world a better place. So remember, retirement is not the end, but a new chapter in life. And after many years of serving as a doctor, it's time for you to slow down and take a new direction. And I hope that you will have a great life in your retirement. We love you. The next presenter is Mr. Ken Hammett. He is chairman of the Marion County Healthcare Authority. He was chairman of the hospital board for something like 23 years. So he knows all these things that I've said about you, and I'm sure he concurs, and he is our next presenter.
Thank you, Sonny. Ditto. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today and honor such a man as I can call a friend, such a doctor, Dr. Kerr. He has been something in this community. He has ministered to this community as well as to the hospital. Everybody, we've got a large crowd here. Everybody knows Dr. Kerr. And everybody has kind words to say about it. Sonny testimony, faith, devotion, and faith. And that always stands out when you talk to people about his faith as well as his medical profession. He's done a terrific job in the community. Building friendships, it's obvious here today. Did a good job of keeping people with. I got involved with him pretty seriously many years ago. I think about 38 years ago. I drove myself to the hospital in that car. And I remember coming in there, telling me, he said, everything. And he worked with me that day. Finally that night, sometime next morning, he told me that he had been working all night on that. He had a doctor in Birmingham that was going to take care of me, receive me, and out we go. As soon as it got daylight, I was on the way. So they did a good job with me. And I was going to Kerr follow up, and I went to him several times. Each time I go, it takes me a little longer. I was working, and I couldn't afford a half a day or better every time I went to the doctor. That's the job I was on. I couldn't do that, so I had to start seeing someone else. Because there's a patient role in it. I don't know how you kept up with that, but that happened for many years. And I look at that side of it, I look at the medical side of it. He's been a giant there. He worked for years. He worked many, many days every week. And sometimes 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights a week in the ER. People ER going. People get the ER doctors. Don't know what there's other folks without it. And we came on, as you know, many years ago with the healthcare authority. And the hospital had been in bad shape. Previous people, they would just drop bottom, tell you the truth. We needed help. We called on Dr. Kerr. Many times we went to Dr. Kerr. Maybe not always regularly, but through the administrator. help, getting us on board, getting the doctors together, everybody working together to work our plan to keep the hospital going. And I look back at those days, and I start thinking about I was here to give a talk. There's so much I can talk about. It could go real long. But he's done a masterful job. He's done great. He's been devoted to the hospital just like he's in the communities. And we all look for it. Everybody that I know speaks of it. Speaks with great passion. And I think that's wonderful. Dr. Kerr, I'd like to present you with a token of appreciation from the healthcare authority for all work that you've done. My bottom was, what's that? Good boy. I don't wear one of them either.
Well, hope you can hear me. I don't know if the mic is picking up or not. I've had the distinct privilege of knowing Dr. Kerr for almost 25 years now. And I've known him in almost every facet of life that you can imagine. I've been blessed to have this. The three, and it's been touched on, the three pinnacles for him has always been God, family, and work. And the thing about those three things for Dr. Kerr is you can't have one without the other. He worked for God, he worked for his family. He devoted his family to God, he worked. He devoted, anything he did, he had those three things in mind. The first time I met Dr. Kerr, I was going in the 9th grade. I'd always been going to a small country church, and my parents decided to start going to the larger church in Hamilton. And he's heard this story, I've reminded him before. But I was led up to this teenage Bible class that Dr. Kerr was teaching, and the room was packed. And I'm used to maybe about 3 kids in a room. I've always been a shy guy, maybe not think that way. And he's going around asking questions, the same way Dr. Kerr likes to do and teach. And he looks at me and he asks a question. And I must have had a deer in the headlight look. I didn't want to talk in front of all these people. And he looks at me and he says, "This is not a hard question." And I still just got the deer headlight look. He went on to the next person and they answered it. So after class was over, I went to my mom. She said, "How was class?" I said, "It was horrible. I'm never going back to that man's class." I'm so embarrassed. And my mom, in all her wisdom, she said, "Yes, you are. You will be back there next Sunday." It's amazing how if my mother had had a different response, how my life would be today. But I went back the next week, and I've been sitting at his feet ever since. He started off as my teacher, teaching me things that, like I said, to this day I wouldn't know if it hadn't been for him. And then it progressed. In 1995, my father passed away suddenly. And I don't think he intentionally meant this, but through the course of time, he became like a father to me. Give me counsel, wisdom, advice. I shared many a meal at his table. Still hope to in the future. And he filled a huge void in my life that I don't know where I would be now if I didn't have that. He wasn't the only. There was about 2 or 3 other men in the community that helped me with that, but Dr. Kerr was always there. He encouraged me to go into medicine. I don't think he ever pushed. Me and his children were best of friends, and between their influence and his influence, I went that direction. And I spent many a day in his clinic and a night in the ER with him as a college student, as a medical student, and then later on. It got to the point when I finally got into medical school, went through 4 years of medical school, 3 years of residency training. And I have to say, those institutions did not train me. They were a supplement. Because Dr. Kerr and the nurses here at this Hamilton Hospital who trained me. After a year of after my intern year of residency, Dr. Kerr encouraged me to start working in the ER here in Hamilton. And I can't remember, I know one nurse, so I won't say the name. I can't remember all the nurses that worked that weekend, because at that time when I started working, the doctors would work 52 hours straight. We would come in on a Friday night and leave on a Monday morning. And they always told me how, oh, that's okay, you work that long, won't be that much. I'll never forget that weekend, the day I died. It was one of the worst, busiest emergency room weekends I think Hamilton had in a long time. But Dr. Kerr continued to encourage me, and I kept coming back and kept working to the point where the ER nurses said, "There's many Dr. Kerr." I want to thank you for setting the bar so high I could never really reach it. But you can tell that he's rubbed off on me through the years. So we started as a teacher, we went to a father/mentor, and now I say he's one of my closest friends. I said that he's an example that I can't live up to, and it's true. I go to him when, we go to each other when we're in good times, but he's one of the first people I think of when I'm having a bad time. He's always been that rock for me, and so many others, and I have seen him through the years influence so many people, especially with the young people, and trying his best to be an influence there. And, for me, he's always been my rock, or one of my rocks. When about 4 years ago, they dedicated the flagpole there in front of the nursing home. And as they were sitting there giving remarks at that time, I thought how fitting that it's a flagpole. Flagpole may be the wrong term, I don't know, but I call it flagpole. How fitting it was that it was a flagpole. Because as I'm looking at this, a flagpole stands straight and resolute. And in the hardest of times, and when times that people like me might crack or fail, Dr. Kerr stands tall and resolute. Maybe bending a little bit, but never breaking. Now, I'd be remiss if I also didn't say something about Sarah. They've been together almost 30 years. And only people in the medical field would know what it takes to be a spouse of a physician. The constant phone calls, the constant comments, taking the good with the bad, but it takes a good woman to do that. And I just wanted to thank both of you for taking this opportunity. You will continue to see Dr. Kerr in the community. Just because he's retiring from medicine doesn't mean he's not here, right? And I hope to spend many a night around the dinner table continuing to talk and share wisdom and advice. If you'll grant me this, before I finish, I'm going to say a prayer. And then after I'm finished, our Mayor, Bob Page, is going to come make a few remarks. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, you blessed us so much. Everyone in this room is better for you and been blessed by you greatly. Father, we thank you for this community here in Hamilton, the people in it, the strength you give us, the blessings you give us. We thank you for our hospital. We thank you for the medical staff, nurses, physicians, techs, all those who do their very best. Although they be human and can make mistakes, Father, we know that they do the very best they possibly can. We thank you for these blessings, Father. At this time, we also thank you for the service that Dr. Kerr has presented to us for these years. We thank you for the continuing years of service he will present to our community. We thank you for the example that he has given all of us, no matter how hard it is to live up to. Father, we pray that we will find strength in each other, find strength in you, and pray that when this life is over, it will be your will that you give us a home with you in heaven. In Christ's name.
Kerr, I want you to call me John.
I was going to say something about that. After I got in medical school, I was at his dinner table and I called him Doc. And he told me, call me John. I can't do it. Yeah. Doc has been a term of endearment for me, for him, for the last almost 30 years. And to me, John would have been disrespectful of me to say that to him. But I appreciate the permission, but he knows now, we both know now, there's nothing I was calling that.
As I suspected, being fifth in the group of speakers, all of these good things have been said, and I'm going to repeat some of them because they're true. But I'm very honored to be one of the people at this podium today honoring this great man. Back in the mid-40s, when Mr. and Ms. John Kerr were about to have a son, they tagged him. They put a burden on him. They put Dad's name on him. That's enough burden right there, just having to live up to your father's reputation. But they didn't know how brilliant this man was going to be. By 1968, he had achieved a medical doctor's degree from the University of Kentucky Medical School. He immediately started to practice. And look, 50 years later, what's become of John Kerr II? He's being honored today, and as you've heard, very much honored for his achievements. He wore the name well, and he achieved all the things that his dad would expect him to do. This man was so brilliant, you knew if you were his patient immediately that you were in the best of care. We've all heard reports of the things he's done. I've personally seen him save lives of my loved ones. And all I can say today is thank you, Doctor, for such a wonderful career and the job that you did. Sincerity. He was about sincerity. He's quick to help his fellow man, whether the need is medical, physical, or spiritual. He moves in all those directions. He's not one vocabulary. He's not one cause, he's all causes. He's a multiple man. He's a man of many talents. He's as good with a songbook in his hand leading the singing at his church. Or if someone says stand in the pulpit and preach, he's just as quick to do that. So his talents are a range of talents. We see much more than just a doctor sitting here with us today. He's a man of great compassion. He'll feed the hungry. He'll pray for the sin-sick. He wants people to go to heaven with him. And I know that about this man. I've watched him for a number of years. He's worn out probably 20 pairs of sneakers running to my front door the last few years. A man of great energy. The Roadrunner and both the Roadrunner and the Bonnie gave up years ago trying to have as much energy as this man right here has. I've never seen a man with so much energy. I heard a doctor say the other day, I don't see how he did it. He would take his full day at work and sign up for a shift at the ER the same day. Now, how many men can stand up to a pace of this year after year? This man did it. He didn't think twice about doing it. He's all about his fellow man and the compassion he has for people. I couldn't really think of what kind of gift to give you today, Doctor, but I did bring a little memento from the city and from the people in this community that love you. It's a key to the city of Hamilton, Alabama. And I want to present it to you, my friend and neighbor, and for all the good years of service. Job well done, and we thank you so much for all Thank you all.
Well, my service is to God, and I serve Him. I like being a servant of His, and I love being a servant of His. I can't think of anything else to say, but I want to pray. Father, thank you for all these good people here and the good speakers for what they said about me. And I love them all. And bless all their souls and pray that they would be faithful Christians. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, it's been a wonderful time of sharing, and got some great food, fellowship ahead. Please, if you've not had a chance to come give your personal regard to Dr. Kerr and his family, please take the opportunity to do so. Enjoy the wonderful food we've got here this afternoon, and that will close a formal program. Dr. Kerr, thank you. We love you, and we thank you for the opportunity to celebrate and honor you. Good afternoon.
Thank you.